woman professional joining us today for Friday Fleet episode 89. I would hand over our founder Kalpana Thakur to start to introduce herself and then we'll proceed. Kalpana, would you like to?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jyoti. And a very warm welcome to all the participants present here. Um, and, uh, and we are grateful for our today's speaker, Vijayshree Mahesh, for accepting our invitation. So I would like to mention here that we met in Professional Speaker Summit in Chennai last week. And I've asked Vijayshree, that sales is something that we, as a chartered accountant, is always, we were discussing at the start, is it is for us that uncomfortable part, uncomfortable conversation, and she accepted that invitation then and there itself. So thank you so much, Vijayshree. We are already behind the time, so without taking much time, I will hand over back to Jyoti for taking the session ahead. Back to you, Jyoti. Thank you so much. Looking forward for the discussion ahead.
Thank you, Kalpana. So I give a warm welcome to everyone. Today's session is especially powerful for all of us, chartered accountants and professionals who want to grow not just in practice but in impact. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our speaker, Vijayshree Mahesh. Vijayshree is a communication coach, trainer, facilitator, and speaker who specializes in helping professionals articulate their value with clarity and confidence. She brings deep insight into how mindset, communication, and structured discovery can transform the way we engage with clients. In today's session, or we say in today's attention economy, where clients are flooded with information, technical knowledge alone is not enough. What differentiates us is how effectively we communicate value, how deeply we understand clients' need, and how confidently we position our expertise. Through this session, Vijayshree will guide us on understanding the attention economy in audit, mastering the art of discovery, making the crucial mindset shift required for value-based selling, and building an actionable roadmap for implementation. This is not just about selling services, it's about building trust, positioning ourselves strategically, and redefining success as CAs. I am truly excited for the insight she is about to share with us. Please join me in warmly welcoming Vijayshree Mahesh to Friday Fleet. Over to you, Vijayshree.
Thank you, Jyoti, and a very warm afternoon to one and all here. So, okay, last time I'm going to check if I'm audible and decently visible. Excellent. Okay, here we go. So actually, Jyoti did a fabulous job in quickly recapping my entire presentation today. So amazing, Jyoti. Thank you so much for that. I'm a professional speaker, I'm a trainer and a coach. So I exactly know when Kalpana said, the challenge when I face and I want to ask someone for my fees or the price or the cost of the program, right? I totally get you, Kalpana, and it's a challenge I think a lot of us face. But today, I'm going to also, while you all know what has to be done, we will do a small deep dive on why we have to do what we've been saying that we have to do in the sense, understand our customers, understand why our customers should choose us, right? Before I start my presentation and, before I get into that, I wanted to ask something to all of you here. I'm assuming most of you are CAs. I'm not sure if the entire audience here is only from the Chartered Accountant fraternity. Am I okay to assume that?
Yes, yes, majority of us are chartered accountant.
Okay, fantastic. So, to all of you here, what do you think is the most expensive thing that you can buy today?
Attention.
Even by time. We can't
Time and attention. Absolutely right. Time and attention, right? Time is also something, but attention even more so. So as Kalpana said, we are bombarded with so many things. Distractions are the maximum, right? And if you are someone who's married and have kids, I don't have to even start there, okay? The number of things you're handling is easily non-countable in two hands. It's way more than that. And as there's one small gold, of course, absolutely gold too. But at one point, you can buy gold, but to buy attention, especially of your younger generations like Gen Z, and assuming 7 years down the lane, your Gen Alpha is also going to be a part of your clientele, right? Because they'll be in the workforce. Your entire mindset has to shift. But back to distractions, the number of things we handle is immense. And this is a women only audience. So I'm going to also go one step further to say this difference in how women handle multiple things versus how men handle multiple things is a world of shift in itself, right? So, to the women in my audience and to all of you here, today I'm going to maybe tell you, also re-emphasize some things that you already know, but also maybe open one small idea or one new idea in your heads on how you can sell yourselves pretty easily, okay? And you can unmute and talk. This is going to be more two-way than a one-way conversation. What is the first thing? I want all of you to just not do anything else and listen to my question carefully. What's the first word that comes to your mind when I say sales?
Like some product. Generally, we
Product.
want a professional that one. Product means some item, some goods.
Something you can see.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. What else? Someone else, anybody else? Marketing. Someone says marketing. Yes, because sales and marketing go hand in hand.
Meeting people,
Rajalakshmi says value. Yes. Yes.
meeting people,
Meeting people indeed. Because then who's going to buy from you? Somebody else. Yes, absolutely meeting people. Clients. Yes. Sales results in you having clients. Yes. Turnover. Absolutely. But let me tell you something. Many times, sales is associated with a small negative feeling with it, right? Being salesy is a very negative word according to the current world. Being salesy is being pushy, selling you something that's not real. I'll be very honest. If you say, oh, he's salesy, it's never in a positive way. It's always having a slight gray shade to it, which says, oh my God,
Sales
so
like
salesy. Pushing to get uh,
sales
sales and
something
salesy.
like like when we come, oh, you will be selling some product, anything you will be means when it's come to like this, nobody like to listen properly unless it is of your choice thing.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. You're right. It's extremely easy for us to always associate sales with a product, right? Because it's the value here is very tangible value. So if I'm going to buy a phone, I mean, why do we buy a phone? To talk to someone else. I mean, the value is right there. So obviously we're going to buy a phone. But why does someone get an iPhone then when there's a phone available for 15,000, 20,000 rupees easily? Why does someone get an iPhone for a lakh?
To create value
And
for
what is the value that iPhone is creating?
So the feeling, different feeling, and as
Prajakta says status. Very nice. So I'm going to slightly rephrase that and say image, right? How we show ourselves. No, someone who has Apple is typically supposed to be high and whatever it is. Right? There's some status or image
Perceived
associated with
quality and luxury.
perceived quality and luxury. Yes, luxury. Luxury in itself is a very debatable topic, but yes, the perceived quality, the perceived value of an iPhone is much greater, and the image that iPhone brings with it is what the value is. On that note, while sales as such as a topic in education is very understandable, but without doing, you being a salesperson, which is you doing actual sales, there is going to be no revenue, there's going to be no turnover at the end, no profits. Every single thing that's associated with sales is not going to happen. And how do we do sales? Marketing and sales, while they are extremely related, are two different sides of a coin. What exactly happens in marketing and what exactly happens in sales are not necessarily the same, right? But today in sales, we are going to say value based selling. And you know where this is the most difficult? In services, like the ones you all offer. Services that you all offer, which do not have a very immediate, tangible thing that they can see. So when I say, hi, Ashwini, so this is what, assume I run a company. I want you to do an audit of my company. So you can say, ma'am, you will be doing A, B, C, D, E, and I'm going to charge you a lakh, just like that, off the hook. I cannot see anything right now when I'm going to pay you, which is why people doubt services. When I always sell a product, it's easier for people to not negotiate versus in services to people to always negotiate. There's a huge statistic that says that when you're selling a product, 80% people don't negotiate versus when you're having a sales like a class or services like you, all of you folks, more than 70% people negotiate on charges. Why is it
True.
2000 rupees for one tax filing? I mean, it's so easy. That's the mindset shift that we need to bring in, right? I mean, it's as simple as that. But how do we do it? I think a couple of you said it's about them understanding the value you bring, right? But what is that value you bring to them? So, why do people do
Profit,
taxes? Yeah.
cost saving,
Sorry, Nidhi.
The
compliance,
value,
compliance.
some of the clients will fill up the full form ITR. They will ask, just you have to review it. Means आपको तो check करके बस भरना है. Why you are charging so much? So
Exactly.
here is the difference. Value will be creating that what you have done is correct or incorrect. I have to go through fully. I will be not just checking, oh, correct. No, I will be seeing all the documents. My work will be 100%.
Okay. And exactly how are you, which is what you are saying, right? Which is why they're coming to you in the first place. But what is the actual value that they get because of you going through that entire document once?
Error-free
Export
compliance.
advisory.
Compliance,
Compliance
which
and also expert advisory.
expert advisory in an area which is humongous and changes literally every year these days, right? Absolutely. Yeah, the expertise that you bring, compliance. And I'm going to ask you to also slightly go through that compliance mode. W- Why compliance is important? Because it's a legal requirement for many of us. So you're legally protecting yourself. What else? Why else is someone filing their taxes? Or why else why else I can't file my own taxes and have to come to a CA or someone like you?
See, if you want to go in detail, tax filing is not just about tax filing. If you are filing your taxes regularly, uh, it helps you get loans. It helps you become a government compliant person. It helps you safeguard yourselves from any uncertain bombarded penalties or interest and stuff like that. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah.
And one more thing that I want to add is you know something that I certainly don't.
Yes.
You all know the ins and outs of the entire financial or the Indian, when I say entire, I'm talking the Indian context. You have the context at the tips of your finger. Even if you don't, you have friends who do. So you actually know way better as a group than I do as a person. And if I have to do, assume if I have to do the same thing, it's going to take me easily 10 hours, in which you can do maybe in half an hour. You save so much of time, so much of effort. You ensure you don't miss any of the smaller fine prints in the legal requirement or in the finance institution. Also, you help people save on money. If at all there's an opportunity, I think you guys are the best people to help them save on money, time, efforts, and so on and so forth. I think this is the value people receive on something as tiny as tax, submitting your taxes on time, right? And this is where I'm coming, and I'm going to start sharing my PPT just so that we have something to look at. And let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, visible.
Okay. So this is exactly what I think Jyoti also quickly did into an introduction. And the most expensive thing, yes, attention, 100%. Clients today don't buy you services. They want to buy what is in it for them, the outcome that is there for them, which is what exactly we discuss right now. Is it reducing my risk, having a legal compliance, saving money? The biggest thing motivates every single human being on the planet. It saves me money, saves me time and effort, which equals to my money, right? Especially if I'm an entrepreneur, and even if I'm a salaried person, right? But assume you are selling or going to a customer if you're a part of a firm and you want to onboard a new customer or you want to onboard a new client, you have a lead. At the end of the day, they are not going to actually never do they value you on these slides or how fancy they are, how well you speak. They are valuing you on how well you've researched them, how awesome your thinking is, how much you're going to deliver for them and save either time, money, effort, risk, ABC for them, right? And this is where the price discussions come. Many of the times we feel very, very, how do I say, uncomfortable talking about a price simply because we don't associate price with credibility. And I'm telling you why. It also runs as a culture. It runs in us as a culture, right? The credibility equal to price equation doesn't run too much for us women. And when we are asked to defend for why the prices, we start giving reasons, which is what nobody wants actually these days. They just don't want to defend our price. And I'll repeat that again. And this is a small shift that's happening in the last 10 years, maybe 7 years or so. Nobody wants us to defend our costs or our price tag. They want us to actually own up that credibility and then present. Also, these days, because of the various touch points that people do have, selling starts way before your presentation. That is the actual meeting with your client. You sharing a questionnaire with them, sharing a quick pamphlet, or did you know sheet, or a calculator, anything that might be more suitable for the appropriate uh, area in which you are actually talking to the client for. But selling starts before the very first meeting. It shows them that you are prepared for what they have and you're ready and you're not just, hitting it off the shoot. It's very, very important. And like all of you know, the sale is one of the diagnosis and not in the presentation. And I'm going to give you a nice example of how this is actually done, right? In the maybe not in the CA world, but otherwise in a typical service industry, how do we actually the customers require for us to understand what their problem is even before they understand what their problem is, right? I thought equations are the best things to communicate things with a CA who understand numbers the best. We understand values, benefits, and minus cost. But I also saw that perceived value is the business impact you carry with certainty. Sorry, that's supposed to be a minus and not a divided sign. Minus the efforts and the risk that they reduce, right? And this is where I have a question. What do you think the business impact for a customer is going to be by you going in?
There are many. There are uh, at times cost savings. There are at times process improvements, time savings, working capital savings, identifying
Yes,
scopes where different operations can be optimized. There are many things. When it comes to financial projections, we can help raise funds as well. We can help them understand what their finance is saying. How, like, are they even feasible or not? I've seen a lot of businesses which work and they just focus on operations, but they are not knowing that they are incurring expenses more than what they are earning. And it's only when a proper experienced person comes into picture and tells them, shows them the mirror, that they understand it.
exactly. Exactly. Which actually ties back to the earlier point we're talking about, right? You have to find what their problem is even before they know what it is. And I think an expert is who can do that. I'm going to talk about value in a way that I understand a little bit, okay? And sorry. Oh God. Hey, I did face a technical glitch there. I'm so sorry about that, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to give an example of how value is personally shared, as especially from my perspective. So I've been selling for a little over 12, 13 years now, in predominantly the services industry. And the services I sell are all to customers who are in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay. So pharma is one of the most strict, most regulated, and you understand because they directly impact lives of like thousands and thousands of human beings. They are always under the microscope, not even under a lens. They are under the microscope from every single regulatory body, right? Um, so when we typically sell to pharma customers, we don't even have the opportunity to tell them that we help you do this, we help you do that, because you know what the mindset they come with, they said, are you better than me? Do you know what we do? We save lives. We save lives. That's where we come from. That's the attitude they come with. So to talk to a pharma customer and tell them, hey, I'm going to make your process easier. I'm going to make compliance easier for you. It's that's that those wordings really don't help them, you know, many a times because they come from such a high end of I'm the best because I'm in the business of saving lives. And the reason I'm saying all this is because there are small key things I always do when I talk to customers who are not in a position to listen to what we are typically saying. I think the most toughest customers are not verbally tough. Okay. The people who typically argue with us are the easiest to manage actually because we know what's there in their mind. But you know who are very difficult to manage? The ones who don't say anything. They are the ones who say, oh, and they never get back. And they say, okay, let me check, and they'll never check. And they'll ghost us forever. These are customers who are the most difficult for us to manage, gauge, and you know, we really can't put a trajectory saying, okay, will they be future customers or not? What's going to happen? It's always there in our heads. But for these customers, especially in my experience, what I've always done and which has almost always worked is you are awesome. You are in the you are in the business of saving lives. I want to be a part of that. And I think I can also be a tiny part of your amazing business of saving lives by helping you do A, B, C, D, E, which is optimize, reduce risk. And when we start speaking in their language, like putting them as the object and us as just a small, tiny part of the entire business, especially when you're trying to work with businesses who have operations, multiple heads and multiple areas, how do I say, not saying industries, factories or locations or pretty large. They want us to be a part of them and they don't want to be trivialized many a times. Pharma customers love it when we want to be a part of them. They love their narrative that they save multiple lives. And this is what makes a difference in value-based selling. This is just an example I'm giving. Obviously, this is not the exact same replica that you can use. But all I'm trying to say is customers love it when we actually say that they are the best in the sense what they are doing, we have to acknowledge what they are doing, but also say we are going to help them do what they do even better by helping them optimize their costs or their check out if their revenues are good enough to overcome their costs, whatever it is, right? Yes, ensure compliance. A lot of you have said so many things, right? Compliance, reduce litigations, so on and so forth. And this is value-based selling. So before I did this session, right? Because we had about a week. Kalpana spoke to me last Friday, and I said, "Sure, Kalpana, I'll do this session today." But I am not. I have zero experience with anything that's related to chartered accountants. Okay, I am a out and out techie. So I did a lot of research. I spoke to my CA friends because I didn't want to not know your business. And I went and spoke to them. Hey, I don't understand what's happening. Which is when one of my friends typically told me, you doing 1 week of research about a CA and trying to pretend that you know what they are doing is not going to help them. You tell what you know, and they'll be able to make the equal parlances in their language, which is when I realized, oh my God, this is exactly what I typically do in my sales strategies. And thank you, Nidhi. Thank you for saying that. 70% of your customers want you to understand that they're actually doing a lot of good work. And they might be doing, of course. And they're maybe missing out on small aspects which they are not aware of. It's truly there. Either they're not aware or they have not done their research properly or they're being guided wrongly. There could be so many reasons. But pointing that out should not be the first thing. That should be the last thing that we do. But please do point it out, okay? But as the last thing. And they'll actually be happy to take you as their advisor or counselor when it comes to matters of finance. So when I'm saying I'm trying to put my screen, okay? It's actually not happening, but I'm hoping it's okay. I'll talk and I can share the presentation with Kalpana and you guys can have a look at it later. When I'm saying your perceived value is the business impact you're creating, along with the certainty with which you can create. When I say certainty, I'm not asking you to say, don't worry, 100% I'll solve this problem for you. No, maybe you can't, okay? Maybe they are in so much of shit that it's actually impossible for you to solve it for them. But if you think you have a way in which they can get better at it, you tell them, I have seen a similar situation before, and this is how I approached it, and they got better. They don't want you to tell them something you've never done before, but if you can relate to something, a case study, if we can call it that way, most customers are extremely impressed by you telling them that you have done this before, you have thought through their problems, you understand your customer's business and thought through this, and that's how you provided a solution or provided a gateway for the customer to get better. That is one more thing any customer loves to listen to. Okay, that's the certainty. So when I say certainty here, they're asking, do you have experience doing this or not? Okay. And if a lot of us, assume you have some experience being a CA, you've worked with some customers, great. But what if you're just a budding CA? I'm not sure if anyone here is just finishing or in their process of studying, but even if you want to share this with someone who's just started off, no, there is something called borrowed credibility or borrowed experience. That's why groups like these really work. I have my own community, right? Where I go back and tell them, hey, I am facing this challenge. I've never worked on this problem before. Has any one of you worked on this similar problem before? So and almost 9 out of 10 times, someone says, hey, I have done this. Connect with me one on one. I borrow credibility from someone who's really my support group and then talk to my customer saying, hey, I am sure this is a case. I have people who I know who's worked on it. And I think I will also be able to do this for you. By that way, what's going to happen? You're going to reduce your risks. I'm repeating those same words, but I think risk reduction is a very, very important part for any company, which some of them even don't know. They are simply not aware. So many entrepreneurs. Yes, Geetanjali. Yes. But we do have a dedicated Q&A. So if you can wait till then, great. If not, please go ahead.
Yeah, with respect to the same topic you had, means you point you are discussing now, that
Mm.
if we are not knowing something, we can tell the client that, yeah, we are having the community and we can check with my colleagues and then we'll get back to you. But such
Okay.
kind of scenario will actually will result in that the client will run away. They will think that you are not having the expert knowledge and you are just means taking the work to increase your revenue.
Okay. Very, very interesting fact, Geetanjali. Most customers actually don't do that. Most good people. Assuming they do that, I think there is no vibe match, leave it alone. But most people who are genuine, so when I say good, I'll rephrase it. Most genuine clients and customers appreciate honesty. When you say I'm not asking you to tell that very obviously that you have a community, you're going to check back. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that's a way in which you should handle this. But to the customer, assume it's coming in a live Q&A. There's a problem you are having in a question that you're getting, for which you don't have a solution in a live Q&A. You can certainly tell that, hey, you know what? I think I do have a solution for this, but I don't have it with me now. I might have to check and get back to you in a day. People who are willing will wait, will not take it bad. Many a times, if someone is coming only for a second opinion, right? If they are just trying to do price match and saying, hey, okay, I've already checked Nidhi's thing, let me also check Kalpana's. That is a different ball game, and that's not what I'm trying to discuss at this point, okay? Because that's how do I put it? They are
I
only
can
here.
help you.
Yes,
Vijay, I
Nidhi.
can help you here. So there are
Yeah.
two types of clients, okay?
Mm,
We all CAs have this category who are always price negotiating. These are small clients. They will always be negotiating on price. They will always be price sensitive. Even for income, something like income tax return, they would shift. Okay.
mm,
But if you have developed a client basis the quality which you deliver or the value, like if the client has that perception that you deliver quality for them or you drive value for them, they would stay.
yes,
They would still stay. They would still think that okay, let them come back, and they will follow up
yes,
also. So
exactly.
there is always
I
these
think
two
I'm
categories of clients.
yeah. I just want to add one experience here, which I recently got from one of the new client, which they are means just checking with me for the first time for the tax services, and I have explained them in some layman language that I can help you in tax and what are the international tax implication and all that. But when he discuss about the UAE taxes. So I said that I am not aware about the UAE taxes. So for that, I can check with the community, with my colleagues, or so he's just like came with the questions that are you experienced how when you pass your CA, whether you are having any partners, how many clients you are having. Means such kind of question they are asking. Even if you go to the doctor, you can't ask such kind of question to the doctor that how
But
much
is this
experience
not
you are
obvious?
having.
Is this not
Yeah,
obvious?
how
If
much
you are going to
yeah.
a pulmonologist,
Hmm.
you would want to know prior hand that how many surgeries they have conducted, what is the market perception about them, are they good doctors or are they newcomers only? If it's a new doctor, you would still be cautious that is the person headed by a senior doctor or not. That
Yeah,
is
but that
because
you
this
will
person,
And
research first,
okay,
na?
to
yes, right,
Geetanjali,
this person
if
came
I
to
may,
you because it's a first time engagement. So
Yeah.
okay, to
that differs a lot.
Geetanjali, in especially,
Hmm.
I want to say something. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens is we also get too sensitive. Being in the sales
Hmm.
side, I'll tell you, sometimes I've received really, really bad language conversations also. There's one thing that we all have to learn being in professional services, right? Because we are our own salespeople. We don't have a separate team doing sales for us. When someone's asking questions, they're trying to judge whether am I safe here? They are not judging you, they are judging themselves. Many a times they are saying, oh my God, the questions are because, okay, am I doing the right decision? Am I in good space when I'm coming to her? We should not take these questions personally. You asked a phenomenally important question that's many a times underrated in sales. Don't take questions about our credibility as a dent on us. It's about them and their experiences also. Maybe they were hoodwinked earlier. We do not know where they are also coming from. So sometimes we have to have that extra shell like a coconut, you know. Don't take it too personally, but still listen to them. Still listen to them.
Hmm.
Sometimes when you ask, okay, you know what I will request you to do, any one of you, when customers ask you these questions, you say, you can answer, but even if you don't, you can say, I will answer every single question of yours, sir, ma'am. Why do you have these doubts? Where are you coming from? If it's okay for you to share any experience that makes you question all this, I'm ready to spend another 10 minutes to listen to you. Many times they open up and that creates a connect which will actually take you to the next step. And if they're genuinely not meant for you, they are not meant for you. Don't waste your time. I think that is a line we start to notice after some time. You will know intuitively, oh God, kuch nahi hoga. I mean, nothing will happen from this. So, I mean, just it's okay to say sorry. I don't think this will work out. But, you know, I have an amazing friend. You can just refer. Assume there is someone who can do refer, yeah. They will refer back to you. The world works that way, I promise. Just like how Kalpana called me. I'm going to come to some very personal examples which are not the CA thing at all, but many times customers ask such questions because they doubt or they want to be sure they are taking the right decision. They are not questioning you. At least 70% of the times customers ask these questions. And when they feel comfortable, no, suddenly they are jumping from not from here to here but here to there. There is such a big difference. They trust you immensely, and when you build that trust, and everything is something you can take forward. But to the question Nidhi has typed on chat, which I'm going to just take a minute to read, I will close this in 5 more minutes. I just have one more point to make. At times when we say things, most of the solutions are already out to the client. Will the client come back or get it done for the existing partners? How do we perceive this kind of instances? As I said, some of them are only coming to cross check whether whatever decision they are taking is right. Okay. It's okay if you actually help them realize that if they are doing the right job, but leave them with a small takeaway. They can get it done through us or through their existing partners. Sometimes we don't have control over that. That's not from us, right? We don't have real control over that. But what you can do is put an impression on the customer or your client or to be customer, whoever be it. See, while ABCD is done, you want this package to be done. I can also do extra or maybe add something onto it. And I think this can all be done just with me. And it will be a lovely partnership for us to take it forward. One is add on, bundle it with something else. Say this is how you'll do it. I can give you some dedicated resources to, also solve some other problem that you have. That is one way. But how do we actually perceive this earlier on? It's actually very difficult. We cannot. It's basically experience, but yes. For people who choose low cost, uh, they are people who are doing one-time things, no? They'll do low cost. I'll tell you something. I also have a CA who does my income tax. But that guy was the person who was my mother was a teacher and her student. Okay. And I'll tell you how this happened. And one day we were walking in the middle of the road. He had just finished his exams. And he said, Ma'am, I mean, we're all as a family. And he said, Ma'am, to my mom's name is Manjula. And she's like, Manju, ma'am, I finished my exam. I'm so happy. I'm now a CA. I'm very happy. So, you know what my mom said? Okay, let me be your first client. You do my income taxes going forward. So he did it to her for free. Okay. He got no money out of it. That he was also an amazing boy. He said, Ma'am, you are my teacher. I'm going to do it for free, just for you. But you know what happened? He built so much of trust and credibility. Me, my sister, my husband's sister, we refer him wherever we go. I'm saying this is one instance, right? You need such a connect also. But when you do things with someone who really trusts you, but maybe money is not the criteria, the
I agree
reference
with
will
you
really talk. This is just
that
one
this
example.
really,
Yeah. I
this
mean, it's a
really
true
happens.
story. 100% true story. 100% true
Even
story.
in the service, means if some service guy is coming for you to ITR, he will recommend 10 of all her near dear ones, all her colleagues, all his or her colleagues, means this happens. This all we have experienced. So yes,
Exactly. So,
credibility.
those
You told
connects
about the
really matter.
credibility, that is
These
the
are
truth.
small examples, but how does this actually work in a large context? So that's exactly where I'm getting to. To your question, this might happen in your tiny, small income groups, but what about a big customer who's actually coming for an end-to-end project thing and they want to hire your firm or you and your partner, however it works? Even there, this works 100%. I promise you. So, I have a guru, and his CA's father was also a CA, so they are family CAs. And I'm from Chennai, okay, South India, where we take this too seriously. Your father's a CA, we are a CA, dish. We take it very seriously. He started off, the father was still not having a firm or anything, even though he was a CA. So when the son started out, his dream was for him to and his father to actually open up this firm. Okay, he started, and when he got customers, the first three customers rejected him. But you know what he did? He followed up with them after 10 months or 9 months, saying, Hey, we connected. Hello, sir. And this was pre-texting era, no? Only emails were there 20 years ago and maybe letters. Dear sir, hope you're namaste, you're all good. We connected 10 months ago. I am still available, and I think in the last 10 months, I have also gained ABCD experience. It is important for us to do these follow-ups. And one of his customers said, Oh my God, you followed up with me? I'm amazed. I want to try out what you have. And that's how he became a client. We sometimes take our follow-ups too less seriously. Follow-ups are very important. And sometimes genuinely they have forgotten, yeah. Maybe their father is sick, their mom is sick, daughter, son is sick. We don't know what their family issues are. They're genuinely forgotten. Our follow-up actually helps them to take the decision easily. We are on the top of their mind. Assume they don't want to choose us. We still tell them, hey, please refer me to anybody in your circle who's requiring a CA. Asking out of your mouth is our duty. Just like how voting is our duty, filing our income tax is a duty, asking your customers for referrals or asking even people who reject you for please refer is very, very important. We take it too lightly. Without asking, nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody. Because that we don't have time for all that. So it's okay. Thank you, Nidhi. It's similar across India about the generational education. But without asking, none of us are going to refer. So if I hadn't told Kalpana, hey, I'm a communications coach, Kalpana, and if Kalpana said, oh my God, really, I want a session that to happen, this would have never happened. I mean, you have to ask, you have to tell people obviously that they need to refer you. Otherwise, they don't take it too seriously. Rather, very few do. Out of 10, maybe one will do automatically. You have lost an opportunity of 4 or 5 more referring because you simply didn't ask, right? I mean, small mindset shifts are these where you telling why your client is awesome, what they are doing is awesome, and how you can make them better awesome. They love that narrative, yeah. Every single person loves that narrative. If I'm saying, Kalpana, you're an amazing CA. But if you do what I'm saying, you'll be an even better CA. Amazing. But if I say, you know what, these are the mistakes you're making, or these are the gaps, and if you do whatever I'm saying, you'll get better. That's a very different narrative, and people buy narratives. Unfortunately, when I'm saying sales, people buy those narratives, which is why all these influencers who have 1 million or 2 million subscribers, what are they selling? Nothing actually. They have literally nothing. They're selling narratives and stories. You get me? I think that was one last thing, and we did do. Okay, I do have a small homework for all of you, and if anyone wants to share it with me, I'm going to share my email ID or my LinkedIn, and you can please share. But before that, how I'm sure you all do a lot of discovery with your customers. The discovery starts with asking the customers a question. Okay, and it's a very famous method called the Socrates method. You know, the famous philosopher Socrates, never, when anyone asked him for a solution, he always asked them a question. Okay, okay. Why do you want me to come? First, they say, why me? What is it that you want to achieve? How do you think this is going to happen? Where is the problem? Do you have an awareness of where the current problem is? So why, what, how, where, which, the 7 questions. Asking your customers appropriate questions is how you do discovery. And Socrates, you go Google it, it's an entire book in itself, the Socrates method of how to do discovery is a phenomenal thing. And you will find something that's very applicable for you. And when you actually are able to understand, the customer will actually say the problem at the end of the day perfectly, and the solution also sometimes. So it's a lovely method that you can actually use. And when most customers feel heard, no, they feel connected. Most people, when we feel heard, we feel connected. And that is what really ticks here also. Salespeople talk a lot, but the best salespeople listen the most. And they are the one who make the maximum sales, maximum conversions of the sales. They don't necessarily meet 100 people in a day, but they're the guys who listen and convert maximum. No, if you even meet 10 people, you convert seven. Oh my God, 70% conversion is a phenomenal conversion, right? So I think this is all I wanted to say. And the small activity I had is I want all of you to create a quick elevator pitch. You all know elevator pitches, right? 30 seconds to 1 minute. You are going to audit a firm. But while pitching this to a CEO, you cannot use the word audit at all. Or you cannot use any technical finance jargon to the CEO. Assume the CEO is someone like me who's a pure IT techie guy who knows only coding. If you had to pitch your auditing services to a CEO in an elevator, without using any jargon or even the word audit, how would you do that? I think that's a small activity that I had for all of you. But that being said, I think this is all I wanted to cover. We also covered a lot of extra stuff because of the questions. We have about 5 minutes. Yes, Kalpana.
So, Vijayshree, can you repeat that task that we have to do? And then I'm
Yeah.
having one. question related to that book.
Oh, okay. The task is you have to write or record. I'm okay with recording in your phones, okay? An elevator pitch is 30 seconds to 1 minute maximum. You are going to audit a company. You can choose any company, okay? Because you've met that CEO in a lift, in an elevator, in a hotel. Assume you are in the ITC hotel of whichever place you are in, and you have met the CEO in a hotel, and you want to pitch your auditing services to your that CEO on that elevator, okay? Without using the word audit, as well as without using any jargon from the finance industry, okay? No jargon. How would you do it? I'm saying this is going to really, some of you are going to hate me, which is perfectly okay. I'm okay with that. But those who are interested, try this, attempt it, and you'll be amazed at what you are capable of. So try it. And if anyone is interested, I'd really love for you to send me that pitch, because this is what I do really well. I'm a communications coach and I teach people how to be the best version of you. And let me know. So the Socrates method, I'm going to send it to Kalpana. I don't have it ready made. It's maybe in my phone. The Socratic method. It's
Yes.
um
My second question was related to that. I'm trying to search that book. I found Socratic method, how to use in classroom, but I'm not able to find the book that you are referring.
no, the Socratic method for teachers, and it's not a book. It's just a
Okay.
concept. You
Concept.
can Google it and find it and apply it in your own way. But it's a lovely way. Okay, sometimes we say it's for teachers. Um, But when you are trying to pitch your services, maybe you are a teacher to that client sitting opposite of you, trying to teach them what even they don't know about their own company. What are their gaps? You can't say it, but you have to figure it out. I think that's the key challenge you guys face, because you typically talk to CEOs or the big shots of a company, so you can't put them down. But how do you still do it professionally and with panache is, I think, a very important aspect of selling yourself at the end of the day as a great auditor, right? See, I also, uh, my customer, so since I was in a company, huge company, most of my customers were in the minimum 10 million to $500 million per year. That's the turnover we had of all my individual customers. So when I do service pitching, it is obviously about how we can overall make them awesome. That's what we do at the end of the day. I want to make you better. I want to make you risk compliant. I want to ensure you have peace of mind. I want to save you money. And many of them like that. Many of them like to know that you have them in in your best interests. I took a like extra time, but hope this is
Uh, any more questions? You all are welcome to ask your questions.
you know even if I'm hoping you're all listening, some of you are on mute and not on video. I'm sure you had your own things, but even if you have heard 50% of this and you can implement some of the things I said, for some of you, some things I said might have been a bulb on moment. For some of you, it might be something else. But if even one of this is of value to you, I think you should start implementing it right today, like now. There is no better time than now. Do it now. For me, I'm going to stop in another 1 minute, Kalpana. I know we are at 5, last minute. For me, as a woman, it took me a lot of time coming from an extremely cultural and traditional and, very closed family that it is perfectly fine for you to go and tell the world, I am good at what I do. So, if you want, please listen to me. Even if not, please listen to me. There's no harm. Either way, listen to me. Okay, because culturally, that's not how we are wired. Okay, we are a very patriarchal society. So is my family, and we had to do what the men said. But I think, um, uh, yeah, it's okay. Girls, it's okay. Sometimes you like me, listen to me. Don't like me, still listen to me. They're not going to lose anything. Tell them this, they're going to laugh at you at least, but they will listen to you. And sometimes that listening does make that change in people that you talk to. They may not be a customer today, but 2 years down the lane, they might be your customer. You do not know who you're impacting today. So please keep that in mind, and hope this session was something useful for you. It was only half an hour, so I kind of packed in everything I could. But all the best to every single one of you. I'm going to Vijayshree Mahesh, it's my name, and that's my LinkedIn ID too. So if anyone wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, please go ahead and do so. Would be lovely to connect with you.
Are we good to wind up?
Absolutely.
Any
Yes, thank you, Jyoti. Thank you so much, Vijayshree, for those golden nugget, I must say. There was not one, there was not two, there was multiple moment of enlightenment for me, and I'm sure the same is for the rest of the participant as well. And the homework that you have gave us by the thought of working on that sales pitch. It gives us that what we say that excitement to work on it. I request the participant to share how we will be able to share that. We either we can do. I'll reach out for that, Vijayshri, to you, and for making this accountable, I request all the participant present in the session to message in the group sales pitch after end of this session. So what I can do, I can create a temporary WhatsApp group. Right, Sunita, it will work so that when the accountability
Kalpana, don't bother. Don't go out of your way. I'm going to type my number here. I will do it one on one, so you
awesome. We
don't
wanted,
stress yourself. Don't do
we
coordination
wanted
extra
that.
hours.
We wanted that from to come from you. So here is
See, the very thing that the Vijayshri told, acknowledging customers one to one, will she will be able to acknowledge her clients or customers or whatever the videos will be coming. Correct, Vijayshri? You will be
Actually,
acknowledging one to one.
I am awesome in in-person meetings. Okay, Zoom meetings, I somehow uh, I'm not very comfortable because I feel my energy cannot be shared through the electronic way. But I'm getting out of it, and I'm still doing these sessions. But I prefer in-person sessions because I think there is something in my in-person sessions a lot. So if anyone wants to connect with me one-on-one, I'm perfectly okay. But thank you so much, Jyoti. It means a lot what you said. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. You can connect with me, and anyone who's interested in doing that activity, please do send it to me. I can give you a feedback, and it's just an interesting thing to do. I think that's about it.
we need 2 more minutes, Vijayshri and rest of the participant, to share our as a token of appreciation for our speaker today. Let me just share my screen. So big round of applause for our speaker and sharing those
Gosh,
learnings
we
that we implement when we interact with our customer. So thank you so much, Vijayshri. I must say,
thank you.
as I
Thank
mentioned,
you.
there was many enlightenment, but for me, the best one was the sale is won in diagnosis, not in presentation. That was the best moment for me. And we
The other word
looked
that we can say
here.
Socratic method. Diagnostics, like asking questions, discovery, diagnosis, and this. So Socratic or whatever word was that? Socratic, if I'm right. So
Yes,
Socratic, yes, yes.
yeah.
yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Vijayshri. And
Thank you, everyone.
next episode, we are having Amrut Deshmukh, the booklet guy, and he's going to talk about My Life in Full by Indra Nui. So the announcement will follow in the group. By that time, in the next one week, 7 days, let's implement the learning we had in today's session from Vijayshri. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Vijayshree. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was an energetic session.
Thank you, Ashwini.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.